You're listening to the Franchise Freedom Podcast with Giuseppe Grammatico.
Welcome to the Franchise Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, your franchise guide, the show where we help corporate executives experience time and financial freedom via franchising. And excited for today, we wanted to discuss a topic that's been coming up more and more often. And it's the name of the show, utilizing a franchise as an investment vehicle to diversify your investments. I know some people are always looking for alternative investments as they're heavily invested in the stock market. So wanted to just take a step back and just talk about, investments, businesses, and things like that. So my background prior to franchising was in the investment world. And in the investment world, we're investing in some large companies, large cap, small cap, mid cap. There's value companies, there's growth, there's, blend or in between, balance funds, the list goes on. And it's great from a diversification standpoint. And I personally invest in the stock market. But the one missing piece is that there really is no control. There's really no, aside from, the proxy votes, really no control as to how the companies are run. And there are various vehicles, right? Certain vehicles will allow you and give you more control. And that's where business ownership comes into play. Franchise ownership comes into play. And I think that's part of the big mix. I don't think it's all or one. And that was some type of mindset that I had. It's kind of like, all right, just decide what was the best route. And it could be a combination. We have franchise owners that own real estate. Maybe they own some homes, vacation homes, Airbnb rentals. They own stocks and bonds, maybe in their 401k with a previous or current employer. They own a franchise. They own a startup. That's fine. Really, it's truly diversifying. So if the stock market gets hit, maybe the business takes off, but the business will obviously give you many more advantages. Keeping in mind, there's going to be some more involvement initially to get the business up and running and some oversight. But I think that completely outweighs, all the other benefits. I think there's so many other benefits in owning a business. So, we talked about kind of the vehicles. There's plenty out there. Again, stocks, investing in the stock market, real estate, franchise, startup businesses. People are investing, alternative investments. People are investing in cryptocurrency, which I don't know much about. It's one area that I'm just not as familiar with. But there's so many that people are buying commodities and gold and silver. So lots of options. You want to make sure, it's not, owning a little bit of everything. It's what you're comfortable with. And that's something that I learned from, I call him Uncle Warren Buffett. Only invest in things that you are familiar and comfortable with. So there's no right or wrong. It's the comfort factor. So in a truly diversified investment, you want to make sure that maybe you take the proceeds from your business and invest in a retirement, a SEP IRA, a 401k, whatever, simple, whatever you qualify for, depending on the number of people and how large the business is. But I think, when taking a look at the big picture, you want to look at also investments that are generating cash flow. So in a franchise, as we talked about in previous episodes, it can be run full-time as an owner-operator. They can be run semi-absentee or part-time. There's even something a little bit newer that you'll hear more about, investor or they call them semi-passive models, where essentially all that means is that the franchisor, for an additional fee, will run the day-to-day for you, essentially allowing you just to make kind of final decisions on maybe the final hire, signing a particular lease, adding to maybe the locations or territory in the franchise. So making more of the high-level decisions. So there's definitely some, I won't spend too much time there, but there's definitely options on the type of ownership. But with the models, there's definitely going to be startup. With that being said, a lot of families I work with, they're looking to replace an income before leaving their job. And I say, that's great. You can talk to the franchise company. They can give you an idea as to what franchisees have averaged maybe their first year You'll be able to speak with existing franchisees. There's no guarantees, right? It's all going to depend on, are you following the system? Was the franchise a good fit? What's going on with the economy? There's so many different variables, but they'll give you just a general idea. But the missing piece, and I think that the thing that people, the two missing pieces is the tax advantages that you get from owning any business, whether it's a franchise or not, but also the resale value. And speaking with other franchisees that maybe have sold or have listed their businesses and asking them, what type of multiple can you get on the earnings? And some people, there's seller discretionary earnings, there's EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization. We had a great show with David C. Barnett talking about exit strategies and how to go about selling your business. So that's one other piece of it, is to figure out, okay, as you grow this business, if you can show a potential buyer that's looking at your business that you're not involved 40 hours a week and in every decision, that the business kind of runs without you, with you kind of just making these high level decisions. And this isn't the first year. This is after several years of running the business, and you can show a nice return and a nice trend as far as growth. That'll help with the multiple you'll get on that business and the number, what that actual number was. So things to consider. It's not just what you're taking out of the business and the tax benefits. It's really what you can sell this business for. And sometimes that's the number that really doubles the returns on the business and how long and what you get for the business. So some things to consider, but an overall great strategy, as opposed to, do I throw more money into the stock market, which we can't control? Do I buy something and invest in something that I have control over, that I can grow, that I can put a great team in place and really grow this thing? And, a future episode we're thinking of doing is, what is the end goal? So it's not, is it just financials and returns, but what are you looking to accomplish? Many people like time and financial freedom, the time freedom, be able to do whatever you want when you want. The financial freedom, obviously the money, being able to cover all your expenses, not have to worry about money anymore. But, are you looking to create a legacy? Do you have a family? Do you have younger children that maybe in the next 5 or 10 years may want to step in a general manager owner role into the business? So looking to create that legacy, looking to create something long-term, that may be something to consider as well, and what that all looks like. So I hope you found this helpful, and really, this is more to open your eyes as to you have options out there. I know sometimes when I was an employee, I maxed out my 401k. It didn't leave me much left to invest in other areas, because I didn't realize what was truly out there. And, that at the time that I can keep my job and run a business on the side and run it semi-absentee. So lots of options out there, lots of things to consider. If anything, maybe this kind of makes you take a step back and, what you're looking to do. And I always say franchising isn't the right fit for everyone, and it's not the answer for everything, but maybe it is time to diversify a little bit out of the stock market, look into business ownership, invest in a business and scale from there, and leverage one business with the next. So again, hopefully you found this helpful. This was a combination of questions that I combined into one, as far as alternative investments and what else you can invest. So again, I hope you found it helpful. Appreciate your comments and questions. GGthefranchiseguide.com. You can book a call with me, send me a message, send me comments. And also, if you have a question in mind or something you've been thinking about, or even a concern you have on a franchise or business ownership, put it in the message. I read them all, respond to every single one, and maybe the future topic for a show here in the FAQ series. So thanks again for everything and your support. Like and subscribe, and maybe share this with one person that may benefit from any of these episodes. And looking forward to chatting soon. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways Giuseppe can help. 1. If you've ever considered owning a business of any kind, you owe it to yourself to get a copy of Giuseppe's book, Franchise Freedom. Download your free copy at ggthefranchiseguide.com/book. 2. Want to understand how successful executives make the transition from corporate to owning their own franchise? Join Giuseppe's next online presentation, Franchise Freedom: How to Escape the Corporate World and Have Financial and Time Freedom by Owning a Franchise, by going to ggthefranchiseguide.com/video. 3. Want to work with Giuseppe one-on-one to identify the right franchise opportunity for you, to navigate the process, and get plugged into experienced franchising advisors? Send him an email to gg@ggthefranchiseguide.com with one-on-one in the subject, and he'll send you all the details.